The Reiki principles were created so that people practicing Reiki could live a better life. In some Reiki traditions, they're called Reiki Precepts, but Reiki Principles, Precepts, they're all the same thing. Being a Reiki healer, practitioner, master is about being a clear channel and a vessel for divine life force energy to flow through you. And in order for that to happen at its fullest potential, there are some things that we need to do to get out of the way so that that energy can flow. When we're practicing Reiki, it's about holding space for healing to occur. And so we can't allow our worry or expectations, thoughts, emotions, anything get in the way of that. And practicing these Reiki principles on a daily basis helps us to really embody that so we live that way, not only when we're practicing Reiki, but in every moment of our lives. The first Reiki principle is just for today, do not anger. Now, it's not saying like deny your anger or avoid your anger because it's a natural thing that's going to come up. The main point of this precept or principle is to manage your anger in a healthy way. When it comes up, don't marinate in it. Don't react from it. Instead, allow it to surface, observe it, witness it, get the information you need from it, and allow it to pass. This principle reminds us not to live in anger or destructive emotions and instead to channel them in healthy ways. Maybe we can channel it through exercise or art or writing or another way. It's a reminder, again, to not live in those things, but instead be the observer and the witness to them and not identify with them. The second Reiki principle is just for today, do not worry. When we're worrying, we are not in the present moment and we do not have trust. We're not trusting ourselves, we're not trusting God or spirit or the universe, and we are denying the truth of what actually is. This principle is here to remind us that in every single moment of our lives, that divine life force energy is flowing through us and flowing through everything. So when you're practicing Reiki, either on yourself or others, and you experience miracles, it's a reminder that those miracles can be experienced in every moment in life and to not forget that. It's a practice, so worry is going to come up. It's not that we're never going to worry, but we will have the awareness when that worry does pop up to say, okay, I'm experiencing this worry, but I know that the truth of this situation is actually different. And it gives us an opportunity to practice that faith and that trust and to practice living in the present moment and not going to the future or going to the past, and to stay in the now and know right now I'm okay. And that means that I will always be okay. I will always be supported. The third Reiki principle is just for today, be grateful. Gratitude is powerful. If you have ever read The Secret or heard of The Secret, that is the basis of that book. It essentially says the more grateful you are, the more abundance and blessings will come to you. That is true, and that's a part of Reiki. We have so many things to be grateful for. We have so many blessings in our lives. And when we focus on those things and we're truly grateful and we express that gratitude, they multiply. When we get caught up in negativity or what we don't have and we are living in scarcity, then that's what we see. Regardless of how many blessings, of how many things we have in our lives, when we're focused on what we don't have, that's all we see, and it colors our perception of everything. The cool thing about this principle is that when we practice gratitude, it literally rewires our brain, and that causes us to think differently and act differently. Over time, we will live in gratitude so much that we'll actually take different actions than we would if we lived in scarcity, and that will bring more abundance into our lives. And that doesn't just mean money. It can be abundance of everything. It can be abundance of love, abundance of joy, abundance of whatever. Practice this principle daily and see your blessings multiply. The fourth Reiki principle is just for today, work with diligence. In different Reiki traditions, this one is written in different ways. Sometimes it says just for today, work hard. Sometimes it says just for today, do your work honestly. Regardless of how it's written, it's the same sentiment. There's two aspects to this Reiki principle. One is to always work on yourself. If you're not working on yourself, then you're not going to be able to meet people where they're at. It can be difficult to hold space for other people if you're not holding space for yourself and you're not working on yourself personally and spiritually. The other aspect of this Reiki principle is to live with integrity and to do your work honestly. When you're practicing Reiki and you're holding space for other people, if you don't have pure intentions, then that's not good. I don't know how else to say that. This principle reminds us to act with integrity and to be honest with ourselves and true to ourselves. When we're not doing that, we're not going to feel good and we're not going to be in the flow of that divine life force energy, which affects us. It will affect our Reiki practice. So it's important to always be honest, live in integrity, and to practice that daily and in all of your Reiki sessions. And the fifth Reiki principle is just for today, be kind to yourself and others. Love is powerful, and I believe that it is the ultimate healer. When we're holding space, we're not just being present, we're bringing love to ourselves, to the situation, and to whoever it is that we're working on if we're doing a session. When we have love, compassion, and kindness, that can create miraculous shifts that are sometimes unexplainable, which is why I said miraculous, because it's a miracle. This principle reminds us that when we're critical and we're judgmental, we're caught up in resistance, we're in our ego, and we're not allowing things to be how they are, and we're not allowing that divine life force energy to flow. We all deserve grace and compassion, whether it's while we're practicing Reiki or in our everyday lives, and it creates a ripple effect because we're all connected. So when we have grace and compassion instead of criticism and judgment, it literally changes the energy waves and it makes the world a better place for however corny that sounds, it's really true. When we're kind to ourselves and others and we show love, it heals things that we sometimes can't even comprehend and we may not be aware of. You may have noticed that all of the Reiki principles start with the phrase just for today, and that is very intentional. One, it makes them more achievable because we're not setting this big lofty goal that we have to do this for the rest of our lives. If we focus on just for today, it makes it more realistic that we'll actually be able to do it. The other aspect is it keeps us in the present moment. If we're thinking about, oh my gosh, I have to do this for the next week or for the next month or whatever, we're then thinking about that next week and that next month, and we're not focused on just today. When you're practicing these principles, do it with laser focus on, am I living these principles right now? Not did I do it yesterday, not will I do it tomorrow. How am I embodying these things right now? I hope that this served you well, and let me know what you think in the comments. I will see you next time.